One of the things you have brought up is this issue of food freedom, and you have a resolution with regard to that, and it says the right of the people to grow food and to purchase food from the source of their choice shall not be infringed, and Congress shall make no law regulating the production and distribution of food products which do not move across state lines. Why are you raising this issue at this time, sir?
Well, you know, I am the chairman of the Regulatory Reform, Antitrust, and Administrative Law Subcommittee. And what I've noticed is that these monopolies have evolved in our country, and they're really empowered by regulations. Over-regulation of the little guy has caused this consolidation in the food industry. So, for instance, 4 companies control 85% of the meat processed in the United States. It's not because they have any particular natural advantage, but the regulations are scale prejudicial. And I've noticed that this is not a partisan issue, that both Democrats and Republicans feel like it is their choice to buy the food they want and to feed the food they want to their families. The resolution you read is a resolution because that's how you introduce constitutional amendments. So this would be a constitutional amendment that would come in front of the Judiciary Committee, on which I also serve. And what I'm trying to get at here is something that I think the Founding Fathers thought was so obvious that they didn't put it in the Constitution. Okay, they got the right to bear arms, the right to assemble, the right to speech, the right to privacy, the right to a trial, all of those things in our Bill of Rights. But they were nervous about listing which rights you should have. So they put the 9th Amendment, which is actually my favorite amendment, that says just because we've listed some things doesn't mean those are all of your rights.
Is that where you got the idea that food freedom is a big priority, which is it equates with security, with individual security, individual liberty?
This is actually an idea that's been evolving with me since before I ran for Congress. So I own a farm. I bought the farm from my wife's father.
You literally bought the farm.
I literally bought the farm and decided, okay, what are we going to do here that could make money? And they had grown tobacco and they had grown cattle. And tobacco has kind of moved on in the United States, the whole way that was grown, even though my wife worked in it and she had no desire. It's hard work to do that. So I decided to do cattle. And I looked at, okay, you know, maybe it'd be nice to raise organic food. Well, what I found out is the whole organic label is controlled by the federal government. And unless you comply with all these regulations that the government has established, you cannot put the word organic on your food.
So it limits competition. You could not compete with organic producers.
Right. And it was also some constraints that, frankly, consumers didn't care about. The organic label wasn't necessarily what they really wanted, and they didn't know it. So what I realized is that the best way to ensure that you're getting safe and humanely produced food is to know your farmer. So people would like to buy local. There are all of these rules that are in the way that are stopping farmers from selling to consumers and consumers buying from these farmers. And it's an artificial restraint. I think you should basically, every person should be able to sign a food declaration of independence that says, okay, I'm going to take responsibility for my own health, and I don't need the government to tell me what I can and can't buy, and basically opt out of this whole scheme. That would be a wonderful thing.
Congressman Thomas Massie, it's a pleasure to talk to you always, and thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us on Weekly Briefing, sir.
Thanks for stopping by the office.